So the government has to cover the difference every single year without exception. The way that he wants to privatize it, and a lot of my friends are kind of left libertarians, they really like the idea of having workers being in charge of companies. He's literally saying that, you know what, guys, maybe the best way to privatize is I'm going to give the airlines to the workers. And this is interesting. He said, I do not know what's good and bad for that industry. I'm just the president. I'm not an expert on that. You workers, you guys are the ones that know what's been overspent and what has been underspent. What is it that, for example, sometimes you will get a politician assigned to be the president or the CEO of the airline, and you know that the guy was spending money on a bunch of stuff that were like, $20,000 for the typical $20,000 for, I don't know, some type of they fix the restroom for $20,000, something like that, and the money just disappeared. Everyone knows that. The workers know that. They said, I'm gonna give it to you guys. I'm gonna help you 1 year with government money for you guys to take care, but you guys are gonna compete. Anyone from everywhere in the world can come and put their own airlines over here. That way we get to privatize it. That's what he wants to do. And the main union leader said, no, we want the state to be in charge. What does that tell you? The amount of dependency upon the state making decisions and protecting people in Argentina is over the top. It truly is like, imagine California to the end power. But people are tired because it is beyond. The amount of statism in Argentina is so sad because it's ridiculous. You have these people with all of the talent. Just imagine some of the most talented people in the world with a terrible political system. Families are amazing. People are amazing. Culture is amazing. The food is amazing. I'm from Texas. Imagine Texas barbecue with Italian food. That's what Argentina. I know, right? Everyone says that.
I'm trying to talk my wife into visiting Argentina sometime soon because we want
to. That sounds amazing. Yeah.
Next December, you guys want to go? A lot of people call Buenos Aires is so beautiful. They still have the I don't know, 1950s, 1940s architecture, and there are going to be some areas that are just like going to Europe. You can just walk, real nice downtown. I spent some time in November. I highly recommend next year in December. You guys are invited to go to the La Bitcoin conference. I'm part of the staff. You guys are gonna have a blast. It's amazing because there's so many things to do. There's a lot of freedom talks. There is crypto, Bitcoin, everything that you can imagine libertarian is gonna flourish in Argentina. So you guys are welcome to go.
That sounds exciting. I mean, Stephanie and I keep telling her because I love Argentinian wine, for example. So, they say invest in what you know, but I've had so many friends contact me who have said, Austin, how can I invest in Argentina? How can I, what do we need to do? Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking that I want to go down there maybe with like 9 or 10 of my friends, take some money and invest either in like a Malbec farm or maybe just like probably a lot of people down there are going to need staples. Like construction is going to be something, right? There's going to be a lot of the basic needs that need to be met for Argentinians that have not been met to some extent. There's going to be a huge need for American dollars to come in because of the process of dollarization. And you as an economist, I'm looking forward to you sort of explaining that to us if you don't mind. Let me just briefly reset for the people who might just be tuning in now to us live and are wondering who we are and what we're talking about. If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show live right now, I'm Austin Peterson, the host of the show. Glad and thankful to have you here. Make sure you click like and subscribe to the channel. I'm joined in studio by my lovely wife, Stephanie Peterson. We're both libertarians and we love freedom. And my guest joining me right now, live on the line from Texas, is Aaron Sepulveda, and he is an economist. And we're talking about Javier Milei's accomplishments while he's in office. So talk to us a little bit about dollarization, because I'm not an economist, so explain it to me like I'm 5 here. But this is the idea that Argentina would essentially run on the dollar. I know that might be good for them. Would that be good for the United States? What are some of the challenges that they might face and the opportunities? Could you explain that to us? Again, like we're idiots.
Okay. First and foremost, to the audience, Austin knows what he's talking about because I saw a video of Austin talking about free banking. So he actually knows his monetary economics really well. Okay,
Yay.
so
don't reveal me, Aaron. I'm trying to appeal to
don't
every
let him
man
kid
here.
you that he doesn't know. He actually knows really well. He has read George Selgin and he has read Larry White. I know you really well, and you did a great explanation, by the way. Go watch Austin's explanation of free banking. It was amazing. Long time ago, it was what, like 8 years ago maybe, but you did an excellent job.
Thank you.
The process of the dollarization goes this way. Straight out for the people that are not completely familiar with this. This is the issue. The Milei, when we mean dollarization, it does not mean that only the dollar can be used. Dollarization in economic lingo means certain country is using other currency than the fiat national currency. So, okay, so for example, we say, oh, Albania is dollarized. Albania is not dollarized. They don't use dollars. They use euros, although they're not part of the European Union. But because they use an external asset, an external currency, we call that dollarization. So be careful. This is lingo among economists. Sorry, it just happens that way. Now, why is it that Milei and his administration chose the dollar? It's because Argentinians themselves, without anyone tell them, as soon as they saw the peso devalue or inflation shooting up, everyone would switch to dollars right away. Dollars, the amount of dollars in Argentina are huge, but they used to be illegal for you to use dollars outside of the state approval system. So people would always keep it underground. I actually got the experience of getting my dollars, going into La Cueva. La Cueva is kind of like a place where that is underground sometimes. And then actually you go, sometimes it's a store, sometimes it's like a flower shop, and then you just go to the back and there's someone actually doing math for you, switching dollars for pesos. And that exchange rate is completely different than what the government says all the time. Wow. Like you're talking about your exchange rate was $1 for 1,000 pesos, when the past governments used to say, oh, it's 400 or 300 to $1. Nobody would use the government rate has nothing to do with reality. Nothing, literally nothing to do with reality. Okay, why? Simple as this. So you guys understand what I mean by what's the problem with Argentina? They have all the talent in the world and terrible political institutions. This story from Dr. White might actually clarify for everyone what's going on in Argentina when it comes to money and politics. The head of the central bank, late 80s, early 90s, talked to Dr. White back in the days and told him, look, inflation's going up. Me, an Argentinian, the head of the Central Bank of Argentina, I have a PhD from Chicago School of Economics. I know that I'm not supposed to be increasing the money supply. I know that. Like, I'm an economist, I have a PhD. But he said, the president straight out comes and tells me, look, this is how much I owe bureaucrats. You need to print it so that I can pay them. Well, it's because inflation, doesn't matter. You do what I tell you. There's no independence between the central bank and the president straight out. There was no way. You can think about it. You have a PhD economist from the University of Chicago, one of the most well-trained persons in the world that you can imagine, in charge of the central bank, and it cannot be effective because you don't have the institutions that respect. And so what Milei is doing right now is trying to change the institutions. For example, one of the main things that you guys have to remember, right now, he hasn't dropped any taxes that we know, significant taxes, because the problem is not even taxes. It's just the bureaucratic process takes away so much time and energy that is just like, forget about it. We're not going to be producing X, B, and Y. Is it because of taxes? Yeah, taxes are a problem, but the bureaucracy is so heavy. The paperwork is so long. Maybe the amount of corruption that you have to go through it is so bad that it's just not worth it. So you have a very, very limited, the government stops society from developing just by the huge amount of rules that imposes on
we know
them.
a thing or two about that. Where Stephanie and I are trying, with our small business, are trying to purchase health insurance for next year, and the amount of rules and regulations of things that we have to go through just to buy health insurance has been a nightmare for us with just a two-person small business.
Whole country rules as if it was just one thing. For example, since I'm very familiar with the Mexican, even Argentina actually works this way. The healthcare industry in Mexico and Argentina is, I don't understand why, but lucky they are, it's almost completely unregulated. And guess what?
Really?
Prices, boom. High. I mean, it's so extreme that many doctors, they open their practice in their living room in their house. You can just go to your home, your main doctor, you just go to their house and they tell you you can do this, and everything's preventive. So I live in the border. One of the main reasons to live in the border in the United States is so that I can cross to Mexico. Whenever I need anything that has to do with healthcare, it takes 5 seconds and it costs about 10% of what it costs in the United States.
Yeah, I know, Stephanie. Yeah, I'd be jealous.
Good medical care in Mexico and Argentina?
Depending on where you go. Depending on where you go. In some places in Mexico, I've heard some horror stories, but hold on. But real quick, before we move on, I want to, we've got a couple of house cleaning things that we got to do because I've got questions rolling in from the audience. Nice. And I've got to do a quick shout out to our boy Billy this morning who's watching with his mom, Ashley. Good morning, guys. I got the whole family watching this morning, they said.
Wow, there's children watching?
Yeah. We appreciate that.
That's wonderful.
We're getting the kids learned about South American politics and
important.
dollarization and the economy and healthcare, yes. And Quest Fanning actually dropped a couple bucks in the tip jar. Thank you, Quest. He was asking this question, which Kermode Bear was kind of echoing earlier, because Kermode said, why should someone choose the dollar when we keep devaluing the money by printing so much in regards to dollarization? And Quest said, why can't they switch to something more stable like Swiss francs, too few in circulation? This is a criticism that I've heard from a lot of libertarians, especially, Aaron, is that they say, oh, well, why would why would Javier Milei choose to dollarize? Why wouldn't he choose some other currency or just go straight to free banking, right? Go to a completely total anarchist, monetary scheme, rather than dollarize? Why choose a dollar instead of a Swiss franc? Or why choose a dollar instead of just abolishing the central bank and letting competing currencies do it? Why the dollar, Aaron?
First and foremost, because Argentinians themselves already chose it. Okay, which asset do our regular Argentinians go to when things go bad with the peso? Is the dollar. So Milei or anyone in power cannot go against what regular people are doing. Whether we like it or not, there's something, some of you guys that have studied monetary economics, there are network effects. If you go to something better when it comes to value, right? Like the Swiss franc and even the New Zealand currency tends to devalue a lot less because they keep their inflation even lower. Well, that's great, but the problem with money is not so much if it's a good or bad store of value. When we get money, usually we get to quickly get rid of it because we need to make expenditures. What you need is a network of people, of users. Which currency is the one that has the highest network of users in the world right now?
Dollar.
The dollar.
Oh, okay.
And that's true in Venezuela, by the way. Venezuelans, as soon as something went wrong with their currency, everyone switched to dollars. It doesn't mean that you cannot use the rest. You can use whatever you want. It's just that, okay, I'm going to close the central bank. This is where it gets tricky. In order to close the central bank, I hope this makes sense to you guys, all of the money of the central bank, it's a debt. I hope that makes sense, right? One way or another is not redeemable, but it's still a debt. So in order to get it out of circulation and so close the central bank, how do you buy it out of circulation? What do people that hold pesos want in return? They want dollars. So the government of Milei has to get dollars, purchase with those dollars, those pesos out of circulation, then he can close the central bank. And then people can do whatever they want. If they want to, let's say everyone switches, once they get dollars and everyone switches to Bitcoin, then Bitcoin's going to be the money. If everyone switches to the euro, that's going to, it's up to, but the only way to close the central bank is for the government of the administration of Milei to get enough dollars. That's why they need dollars desperately to buy those pesos out of circulation. And now there's no more debt from the central bank. The central bank can close.
Yeah. Because they owe the IMF or the World Bank something like $50 billion or something like that. Goodness. So they've got to get dollars in order to pay off their debts.
And the way to get dollars is that people have to bring dollars there. It's not like we're going to set up a bank that's going to print money there.
No, and here's the thing. So apparently, and this is just some rumor, maybe Aaron can confirm or deny, that I've heard, is that a lot of Argentinians have dollars stashed under their mattresses and have been holding on to dollars in hopes that one day that they could use them, because, if you can't get a dollar back, you're not going to spend the dollar, right? But if dollars are freely circulating, you might be more willing to spend them. Is that true, Aaron?
Exactly.
Is it possible that there might be enough dollars in Argentina? I mean, they probably need some foreign investment still, but could they get their economy circulating and begin dollarization with what is already there to an extent?
I think they already can. Now, the issue is you see now they can dollarize and they can start using them on a daily basis. Now, that's one of the main changes that Milei did in about like less than a week. For the first time, people can go out and make payments with dollars without anyone telling them anything. What we call la cuevas, which I went through it to go and exchange, that's not illegal anymore. So right now they can exchange dollars anytime they want, anywhere they want, make payments with it. Now, dollars were used for large transactions. That's when it was legal. For example, if you're gonna buy a house, you wouldn't pay with pesos, you will pay with dollars. Mm. Certain high items, they were like, yeah, that's fine, you can use it. For daily basis, that was completely legal. So that's where it gets tricky. They have a lot of dollars because Argentinians have been saving in dollars since at least the 80s. The dollars that go in never get out just because people want to hold on to them, because whether we like it or not, at least compared to the local money, the dollar is much better. You and I hate it because we don't want an inflation of 9% like we went through it. But for Argentinians, even the high inflation of 9% is nothing a year when these guys have 140% many years. So the comparisons are just completely out of proportion. We cannot import our needs and our priorities to their needs and to their priorities are completely different than ours, which is great, by the way. Yes. But we do have to judge them relative to their priorities, not our priorities.
Yes, it's exactly, Aaron. It's sometimes I see people, very selfishly, railing against dollarization, and it's like you aren't living in a country with 140% inflation right now. You don't know what it's like to suffer under these slings and arrows. Which, speaking of, another big beef, Aaron. I know I'm going over on time. Do you have more time to hang out with us? To continue this conversation? Okay, because this is good stuff. Another beef that I've seen American libertarians have with Javier Milei, which I don't share, is his nominally positive view of the United States, but I think their beef is more of his positive view of the state of Israel in general. Obviously, Argentina is not going to become a foreign policy powerhouse, at least in any time soon. It's not like they have to worry about, Argentina getting involved in the conflict between Israel and Gaza. Nonetheless, I see support of Israel and the United States, moral support of Israel and the United States, as at least somewhat of like a stand-in for a moral support of freedom itself, even despite the fact that the United States and Israel don't necessarily live up to the ideals that people like you and I have. But I see Javier's support of Israel and the United States not as some craven desire to support the Zionism and occupation and intervention, but more of a stance that he supports countries that are more liberal. Do you agree with that? And do you share my sort of like dim view of libertarians who criticize his views of the United States and Israel? How do you feel about that whole conflict?
It's a matter of priorities. Honestly, whatever any Argentinian president has ever said about foreign policy does not change anything in the world. It will be irresponsible for Milei or any other Argentinian president to take a strong stance in favor or against. Having a strong stance on foreign policy is a luxury that only American libertarians can have. This is what I want you guys to understand. For example, there's a lot of libertarians in Latin America that they support the United States on anything, not because they love what the United States do. It's just because the local socialists like Maduro, Chavez himself, the Peronistas, well, mainly Kirchneristas in Argentina. Venezuela. Those guys are infinitely worse. Like, I'm not talking about a little bit worse. I'm talking about infinitely worse. You and I should worry about those things because I had a space with Dr. Robert Murphy. We were discussing these type of topics, and one of the things I was telling everyone is like, guys, there's no way that the Argentinians have to worry. Like, for example, you and I, we're Americans, and the military-industrial complex lives out of our taxes, so we have to oppose it like crazy. the military industrial complex does not live off of Argentinian taxes. Like, what do they care about? You know the amount of needs they have and they have to be concerned with. And oh no, don't worry about that. Don't worry about, let's say, for I don't know if some of you guys know, one that is very iconic was um there was a big soccer final, international final, and it happened in South America, Copa Libertadores. It's a huge thing in Latin America. Both in the final were Argentinian teams that they have a long-standing competition against each other. Boca Juniors against River Plate. The final game couldn't even be played because there was a lot of violence fighting against each other. Now, I want you guys to think about this. We don't live through that, guys. Like literally, not even one of the sports that I know of, you get the both of the fans' sides here upon each. Oh, they actually bombed. It wasn't like bomb, but okay, they actually attacked the boss of one of the teams, and they had to stop the game. They had to take the game to Spain. Okay, don't worry about the details. This is the major concern for Argentinians: violence inside. Do you think Milei is supposed to be super careful about his foreign policy stand and telling people what's good and what's bad outside of Argentina? He doesn't have the time or resources. That's it. Whatever stance he takes, he's getting them out of BRICS because, for example, BRICS is not an economic alliance, it's a political stance. All BRICS do is say, we're not United States. That's it. That's all they do. They don't do anything else. They don't cooperate with each other. They don't help each other out at all. He needs help. He needs dollars. Where is he going to get the dollars? He's going to get them from the United States. That's it. You can say whatever you want of his personal life because he studies with Jewish people, and that's why he has a bias in favor of Israel. I don't take a stand. I don't care. I know that the guy is going to dollarize, and that's going to get rid of inflation for regular Argentinians. That's my concern. My concern is regular people on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just, I've been sort of battling with a lot of the anarchist libertarians in the United States over the foreign policy question, and it was just absolutely delicious for me when Javier Milei won, because he pretty much mirrored my stance when it came to foreign policy in regards to the Israel and pro-U.S. question. Because my fear is that American libertarians are not necessarily against military intervention as much as they are really just anti anything that the United States does. They become sort of reflexively anti-American and reflexively anti-Israel. And I do believe that part of that does come from a place of bigotry against Jews and not necessarily against Americans. That's my own political point of view. And, I'm not saying that you share that, and I'm not saying anybody else shares it. But what I'm saying is that that's my view, is that the American libertarian movement has a bigotry problem that needs to be rooted out. And so I've been fighting that fight for several months.
So
Javier Milei is out.
Did.
He's been out there waving the flag of the state of Israel, and then he wins the election. I saw American libertarians who I'd been battling with online saying things like, "Well, Javier Milei isn't perfect, but I'm glad he won. He's not ideal." And I'm like, shut the up, okay? Like, you are never in your life ever going to see another person who is so libertarian take so high a place. I compared this yesterday to the fall of the Berlin Wall kind of a moment here. Like,
we have done that, huh? We have been comparing that,
right? With the difference that Russia didn't go from communist to libertarian. They went from communist to oligarchy, authoritarian. This is an experiment like we've never seen. But I want to ask you a couple of other questions. These are going to be kind of like more quick hits, because I just want to have you confirm or deny these rumors that I'm reading about online. One is that I'm seeing that Javier Milei has proposed action to allow for stronger self-defense laws. I don't know how that relates to guns, but is that true?
There's a more gun culture in Argentina, so I'm kind of glad that that the Argentinians have the opportunity to just maybe they're not gonna do like open carry or something like that, but for sure I know that he's liberalizing the use of guns, simply because there are certain areas now. If you go downtown Buenos Aires, where I stayed, there's no violence. Don't worry about it. Everything's great. Like, the tourist areas are always protected. Usually in the outskirts in Buenos Aires and the outskirts in other cities, that's when you get a lot of violence, and a lot of people have to live in the outskirts just because downtown is obviously very expensive, right? So regular people have to find a way to protect themselves, and what they're trying to do is to liberalize the gun rules so that in general you can protect yourself against criminals, because people are just tired, because it's not just regular criminals. There's a lot of criminality, if you wish, let's just say it that way, from the other political parties. The other political parties getting cahoots with gangs so as to either attract more votes or to convince, quote unquote, people of different or certain neighborhoods to vote for certain candidates, because other than that, the local criminals will get after you. So this is very common, guys. That's why the revolution is amazing, because he was battling against every single government school teacher did not like Milei. Every single one of them. Straight out.
The school teachers don't like him. That was going to be my next question, was about homeschooling, because I think that's another thing that Javier Milei was doing.
He's legalizing it.
Yeah, legalizing homeschooling. Let's talk about that in just a moment. I want to reset, because we just found out that rumble.com just put us on the front page, front and center.
Yay, so a lot of people are listening to you right now.
The numbers are starting to really bolster up. We appreciate that. For those of you who might just be tuning in right now, wondering who we are, what we're talking about, I'm Austin Peterson, the host of the Wake Up America show. We're glad to have you here. My lovely lady who's sitting here next to me is my wife, Stephanie Peterson, and she is Steffi P for Liberty over on Twitter. We're speaking to Aaron Sepulveda. He is an economist who is talking to us about the situation in Argentina. We've been discussing this morning dollarization. We've been discussing the deregulation of the airline industry in Argentina. So if any of that sounds interesting, you missed those parts of that conversation, remember, you can always download the audio version of this podcast and listen to it later. Do me a favor, click like on the stream. And if you're enjoying this content, subscribe to the channel. The Wake Up America show streams live every Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Fridays. We are going to be off this Monday for the New Year's, because you know how we love to, drink and get hungover. But no, just me, but not Steffi. But we will be back on Tuesday after the holiday. Thank you to Rumble for that, and we appreciate it, because Rumble has been a huge part of 2023. And soon we're going to have a discussion after we're done with Aaron about some of our best hits, moments of 2023, which is obviously the huge support we've received from rumble.com. Rare Camellia over in the live stream says, this is such a good interview. Hell yeah, it is. This is good stuff.
It is mind-blowing.
Aaron Sepulveda is talking to us a little bit about the accomplishments of Javier Milei. Homeschooling, that was illegal? I mean, obviously government teachers are going to hate Javier Milei, but now there may be a way to do an end run around him. Aaron, talk to us about this.
Well, in general, for some reason that I don't completely understand, because even in the United States, you don't see the entire community of teachers being against freedom candidates. In this case, yes, it was. And there's a bunch of videos that I know, guys, you need to learn Spanish, because the amount of amazing videos of young guys, young people refuting their teachers live because of all the nonsense they're teaching. And then just by watching the videos of Milei, they learn economics. They went to read, I'm kidding you not, Human Action. This is what got to me, guys. I actually saw, and I just couldn't stop myself, because I was like, this is just too good to be true. He, in one of the campaign, how do you call meetings, right? One of the campaign meetings, just bunch of regular people go and see what Milei has to say, so on and so forth. And you get just regular people lining up with books from Hayek so that Milei can sign them.
Dude, this is awesome.
Next time someone says something, so inside of the libertarian movement says something against Milei, it's fine. Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech, right? But
when you get regular people to read Hayek and go to you and ask you to sign it for them, then we can talk about accomplishments.
Yeah, no shit. Oh, shit. Let's give it up for Javier Milei. Okay, we've got a breaking news item here. I think it's breaking news. Anyway, Javier Milei just retweeted our Rumble channel right now. So he could be listening to us all the way down in Argentina for all we know. So Javier, if you're listening.
Likes Aaron very much.
Yeah.
let me speak in Spanish. Javo, creemos en ti. Desde los Estados Unidos, tenemos toda la fe en ti y que vas a ser exitoso. Échale ganas, hermano.
Viva la libertad, carajo!
Yeah.
Viva la libertad, carajo.
This is great. Yeah, he just retweeted the video that I was talking about, what makes him different from other populists around the world, which is, of course, free market economics. And so he just reposted that, and it has the link to the Rumble channel. So some of Javier Milei's friends might be watching right now. He might be here with us right now. Thank you very much for that, Javier. If so, we appreciate you very much. We'd love to have you come on the show sometime, Javier. Follow me on Twitter so that I can DM you and we can actually have you come. He keeps retweeting me and he isn't following me. It's like the one thing. It's like making me like Twitch. I'm like, you keep retweeting me, but just follow me, okay? So I can just get that one dopamine hit. I need it. Make my new year amazing. Thanks so much to everybody who's tuning in and watching the show this morning. This is an awesome interview that we're having with Aaron Sepulveda. He's being very generous with his time this morning. We were going to go for 20 minutes, but it looks like we're going for half an hour. If you've got to run at any time, Aaron, I totally understand. Just let us know. We're talking about the accomplishments of Javier Milei in such a short time. Let's bring this back to domestic politics briefly for just a moment, Aaron, because a lot of people who are supporting someone else other than Donald Trump in the Republican primary, they are saying, Donald Trump didn't drain the swamp. He didn't do what Javier Milei is doing. Is Javier Milei in a unique position to do the things that maybe Donald Trump couldn't do? Or do you think that Donald Trump deserves some criticism for not accomplishing what Javier has accomplished in such a brief time? Because when I got that message from the congressman of the Libertarian Avanza party last night, he's saying you all need to support Donald Trump in the United States. We modeled our campaign after him. I mean, there are differences between Javier Milei and Donald Trump. Like you stated at the beginning of this interview, what do you think? Do you think that Donald Trump, does he deserve criticism? Were his hands tied? If he wins again, could he? Could he actually take out the deep state? Yeah. What do you think?
Me personally, I don't think Donald Trump, because this is what makes it difficult to understand the difference between Milei and every other politician in history. You're talking about a economics college professor. He knows politics. He's super well read, crazy well read. He quoted, if you guys know, Dr. Robert Murphy, some of the books from him. He quoted Murray Rothbard, Hayek, Murphy. And it's not just some ancient text. Very, very like texts that are coming out right now. He's still reading them. You're talking about American libertarian literature that he reads on a daily basis. He's super well read. Now, if you ask me, I don't think Trump has any idea that tariffs are anti-market. And if you ask me, I think it's in a different, what they have in common is the rhetoric, how to win votes. But their policies can be either, and another one, for example, like Milei cannot just drop taxes like crazy. This is what is going to be very difficult. Trump can easily drop taxes very quickly because in the United States, since he didn't drop government. Now this is one tricky one. Donald Trump didn't just not drain the swamp. He actually increased government spending, and so deficit should drop during the Trump administration. What Milei has to do to prevent inflation? Why? Because of the peso, the Argentinian peso does not have the same demand than the dollar. That's so obvious, right? So he cannot go out and say, okay, guys, we're going to drop taxes and we'll take care of the deficit later on. No. He has to take care of the deficit first before anything else because of the high inflation. We didn't have really high inflation before 2016 when Trump came along. So Trump usually just comes along and says, I'm going to tax taxes and increase the spending and the deficit goes crazy. Inflation didn't go up, but it went to, let's say, below 2%. It went to like 2 point something, whatever during this administration. Why? We Americans didn't give ourselves that kind of luxury because our currency is the most demanding currency in the world. We can do very well stuff that is impossible outside the United States. And I think spending the last 10 years trying to make Americans understand, guys, we are Americans, we are in a completely different position than everyone else in the world. We create the money in the world. When we hold dollars, our income is in dollars, everyone in the world wants to either sell you something, it's in America, you have the dollars, or lend you so that they pay them in the future, not in their local currency, but in dollars. That's why we're so important to the world. And Austin, you already kind of figured out, hey, there's a way that we can invest over there. Yes, everyone wants your dollars over there outside the United States.
Aaron,
we have to, so
we're getting a little bit of a chop on audio from you.
Sure.
So here's what I'd like to do. If you'd like to continue this interview, we can. We're going to do a brief commercial break. Let's disconnect and then reconnect and come back. We've got to go do a quick commercial read anyway for our gold company who is investing in us in the Wake Up America show. So we'll be right back. Okay, Aaron? Okay, thank you very much. All right, we're going to disconnect from Aaron, and then we'll come back. I'm going to send him a new Zoom thing. But Stephanie, would you do me a favor and do me a quick little commercial for our friends over at Lear Capital?
Oh, sure. So gold, everybody. If you haven't invested in it yet, or even silver or platinum, if you're really feeling eager, you have to go to learaustin.com. Or you can call the number. What is the phone number? I don't have it right here.
It's 1-800
885
2175
2175. And if you call that number, you say Austin Peterson sent you. They're not going to annoy you. All they're going to do is they're going to educate you on what they can offer you in terms of metals. And you can buy really cool coins if you like the collector coins. I know they were doing like a Mount Rushmore edition. They were doing some really cool, artistic coins. So if you like that, or if you just want gold bars, or if you want silver, or you can even cash in your metals and they'll pay you.
There you go. If you're interested in investing in gold or silver, we endorse and recommend Lear Capital. They've been with the Wake Up America show since the very beginning. They're investing in liberty, so let's invest in them and in your financial future. Give them a call today. They've got a $500 account credit good for the end of the year, which is, well, today. 1-800-885-2175 is the phone number. That's 1-800-885-2175. Write it down. Or if you're phone averse, which I know many millennials and younger are, then we've got a website set up for you to get a free gold and silver information packet at learaustin.com. Every phone call, every website sign up that you get helps support the Wake Up America show. So do me a favor and head over there today. Go to learaustin.com. That's learaustin.com. Steffi, do the gold dance real quick.
And I really do. I have a bag of gold in our house.
Of course she does.
Silver.
She's Jewish.
And I feel so safe because I know that at any moment, Lear Capital can buy it from me and they'll give me dollars.
She buys the gold.
We're talking about dollarization.
And I buy the iron and lead. All right. So we've got Aaron Sepulveda back on the show with us this morning. He's joining us now live from Texas. He's an economist. He's talking to us about the accomplishments of Javier Milei. 400 people watching us live right now. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Thanks, Aaron. Hopefully the audio situation has been fixed. They said it started to fix there at the very end, but thanks for coming around and sticking around with us this morning. It's been a great interview.
Yeah. Early morning interviews are usually have more time. My work starts in the afternoon. That's when I'm a little
okay.
Oh, great.
Good to know. All right. So we've been talking about Javier Milei's accomplishments. We just got done talking about homeschooling of kids. One of the criticisms of Javier Milei that I've seen is that the left, of course, calls everybody a fascist. But they are saying that he's already breaking up these protests and he's violating the free speech rights of Argentinian citizens. How would you respond to that?
Every single negative news I've seen in English, it's a ridiculous exaggeration of things that are like just completely divorced from reality. Two ridiculous things. One, he's suppressing protests. No, all he said is this is huge, you guys. And so you guys understand the difficulties. In Latin America, it's a huge problem. In Argentina, it's even more. Like literally everything bad that you can think of from the left in Latin America, which is already pretty bad, in Argentina, it's always multiplied by 10, by 100. It's crazy. Every single week, if not almost every single day, there are protests about anything that you can imagine. There's people that quite literally their job is to organize protests every single week. And regular people in Argentina are tired because it's just complain about anything and everything, and they close streets. It's not just like they go and complain about something, which if you ask me, that's perfectly fine.
Right.
They close main streets. So people are always late to work. Always. Like it's completely unpredictable. Just imagine your life. You cannot ever plan to be on time in your job. Now, and this is what I'm telling you guys. If you want the conservative vote, all they need, you need to give them is a predictable functioning society. They don't care if it's government if it's government run or privately run, wherever you can imagine. Just give them a functioning society, and they'll vote for you. And that's what Milei did. An exaggeration. For some reason, people are exaggerating, saying, "Oh, look, he's taking away free speech rights." No, no, no. All they have to do is they can protest, but they cannot close streets. And he was successful in stopping the latest protests, not from occurring. They did occur, they just couldn't close streets. Out of usually having 10 to like 20 or even more streets closed, they only got 2 streets closed after a lot of back and forth. And that was a huge success because most of Argentinians were saying like, "Oh, that's great. We can actually get to work." Like that's amazing. Just imagine that the greatest news you have from your political system is that you can make it on time and work. This is where they are. So we can actually help them out move forward because they're already taking care of basic needs such as security and the basic need of literally having access to international markets so they can have more resources. It's not strange that middle class people, very well educated people, cannot, I'm not saying they're choosing, but they cannot have 3 meals a day. Just to tell you, I just can't afford it.
This is good stuff. Aaron, I think that we've definitely gone all over the place in terms of what Javier Milei's accomplishments are. There's probably dozens more we could talk about for hours. I think that, Aaron, we're definitely going to have you back on the show because we're getting such great feedback.
You are so knowledgeable, so smart.
So great stuff. And we definitely want to talk to you more about coming to Argentina next December for the Bitcoin conference. I saw a couple of the commenters like Camellia and Quest are like, "Let's go to Argentina." So maybe we'll bring with us a whole crew down there next year. That would be great. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners before we let you go?
I'm not sure. Just following me on Twitter. I highly recommend. I'll be putting some people to follow. I tend to cover mainly the macroeconomic stuff. Bowtie Mara, I'll give you guys the link. He covers a lot of the culture stuff, so you understand the Argentinian culture. He goes through like food, what are the good places to go to visit. He very specializes on foreigners that either want to invest or want to know details about Argentina. He's originally he's a Dutch citizen and Argentinian citizen at the same time, but he's multilingual, so he usually posts in English, so it's easy to follow. Follow me for the macros, for the economic stuff if you wish.
What is your Twitter name? How can I follow you? I'm trying to find you.
Yeah. So his name is down there. His name is down underneath his picture here, and that's how to spell it for those who are curious.
Yes.
Aaron.
I have it as Aaron Sepulveda Z, just with a C at the end. If you can find me. And then I'll send the bow time.
And it looks like our mods are dropping it in the Rumble chat as well. So it's a good thing, Aaron, to go into the Rumble chat, the live chat during the show. And just for the mods to know, we usually don't allow promotion, but guests are always allowed to promote their content and their stuff. So no, it's fine. You're fine. It's fine.
We want you to.
We want our guests, of course, to feel free to promote. So Aaron, if you'd like to join us there in the Rumble chat afterwards, drop your Twitter or any other links that you think are fine. Just so the mods know, Aaron is free to post whatever content he likes so that you guys don't ban him. There we go. Hey, Aaron, this was a great conversation. Everybody says bring him back. Thanks so much, brother.
Gracias.
Hey, yeah, gracias. And Happy New Year to you, brother. We'll talk to you again real soon, okay?
Feliz Año Nuevo. Take care.
Thank you very much. Thanks for supporting Liberty. Wow, that was awesome. Huh?
It was so mind-blowing. I mean, it just really put things in perspective for me. Because as Americans, we're just so stuck in our bubble and we think everyone else thinks how we do. And I think that's part of the Middle East issue is we think that, people in the Middle East have the same mindset as we do. But he was showing us that in Argentina, they have such different priorities. I mean, they want a functional society. We have a functional society in America, but we just want to make it better.
Yeah, we are so blessed here. We are so blessed. Do you want to watch the video of ours that Javier Milei just retweeted?
Oh, sure.
Okay, here's what Javier Milei of Argentina, the president of freaking Argentina, just reposted. Take a look and a listen. He is not like the other populists around the world because Javier Milei believes in free trade. Javier Milei is not going to put import tariffs on his people. Javier Milei is going to advance true free market economics. This is an experiment. It's something that the world has never seen before, and we'll probably never again see in our lifetime, something like this, right? Javier understands the principles. He can bring these reforms about because he actually understands what price controls, wage controls, what socialism is, what central planning is. And he's already, he's already says that the people who are blocking the streets down there, they're going to have their welfare removed. You're allowed to protest, he says, and they're already calling me a fascist. Right?
Oh, I know, so stupid.
Right. Because these people, they call everything a fascist. They don't. That's what Javier Milei just retweeted, along with the link to our Rumble channel.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's pretty amazing stuff this morning. We've been blowing it up. I mean, Aaron was an awesome guest.
Oh, he knows so much, and he just really opened my eyes to what the people in Argentina are like. I mean, they really just live in a different world, and I wish I could connect with somebody in Argentina and be like, tell me about your life. What is your day-to-day life like? What are you worried about every day?
Yeah.
Because these people are worried about their basic needs. I mean, these are things that most Americans don't have to worry about on a daily basis.
And that's why I kind of bristle at criticisms of him that are things that are so completely ridiculous, like he supports Israel. He doesn't have they have no military, right? They're not going to get involved in this,
right? And like Aaron said, I mean, it's really not important.
It's not
about
important.
his foreign policy.
They're going to dollarize. Well, they have to, because that's what the people of Argentina want, and they owe billions of dollars around the world that they have to pay back in dollars, and so they have to get their economy functioning right now. And the most stable currency, like it or not, as much as we dislike the Federal Reserve, like it or not, is the American dollar, right? And
we really do have it pretty good, everybody.
Yeah, we do. It's like my friend Alejandro. He's the one who introduced us, by the way, to Aaron. Alejandro was telling us, he's like, listen, you guys can say all day long, oh, the dollar's lost so much value, the dollar's not worth crap. But if you take a fistful of dollars to Buenos Aires, your dollars will go far.
Absolutely.
Right? You take your dollars outside of the United States and they spend, right? If you have Argentinian pesos and you go to France, those don't spend. You go to France, you got dollars, they'll spend,
That's why it's even more hard to wrap my mind around, because I'm like, here in America, all we do is exchange dollars and sure, maybe gold if you're like bartering. But it's like, imagine if somebody presented to you like a peso in America. I just can't imagine accepting multiple forms of currency when you're going to the store. If somebody's handing us all different types of money.
Aaron's compliment of me at the beginning of this, when I was talking about dollarization, was my explanation of free banking and what Javier Milei would like to work towards. They won't have right away, but they would like to work towards is this concept that Friedrich Hayek really advanced. He was the one who really pioneered this concept of this idea of a basket of currencies where you don't just have one national dollar, but Bitcoin or dollars or pesos or what have you.
Yeah, we do have Bitcoin, but it's like you don't really go to the store every day and say, hey, I'm paying in Bitcoin.
So if you have a dollar in your pocket, you can see on the dollar, there's this thing in the United States called legal tender laws. And I don't want to get into too much of the weeds of this, but other than to say the idea is that you would not have legal tender laws where you're forced to accept dollars, right? If somebody brings a dollar to pay for something in a shop, it's the law that you have to accept it, right?
It is.
You could, those are legal tender laws.
Yeah.
Right. But if you go to a Ace Hardware and you want to pay in Bitcoin, they don't have to accept that.
Right.
Right. It's their choice. The idea is that a store could be transactional entirely in Bitcoin if they want. They're not forced to use dollars or to accept legal tender that they want, right?
Right.
So it's really just about freedom to bank as you please. The United States experimented with free banking during a brief period in what we call the Gilded Age, right? And the left hates this era, but who was president during the late 1800s that we're writing our second children's book about?
Oh, Grover Cleveland.
The Gilded Age, they call the age of robber barons. But this was the era of the Wild West. This was the era of property rights and gold and guns and God and girls and, outhouses and saloons, right? And this was a great time in American history with the end of the Industrial Revolution and the mechanization of the United States until eventually we got to the digitalization in the 1980s, right? But the Gilded Age was a time of free banking to a large extent until the Federal Reserve Act was passed in 1913. Which ended the age or the era of free banking.
Boo.
Boo. Exactly. Where's my boo button? Boo. Boo. Right. So anyways, so this is all so exciting. Go ahead. Yeah.
The other thing that I want to bring up, because he was talking about the rhetoric, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Milei is copying the rhetoric of Trump. But I'm like, can someone like Milei really come to America and win? Is that possible? Because we already have a functional society.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we convince America that we can make our society more functional using our libertarian values? Is that possible?
That's the great question, Stephanie, because Maria Edenbo, our friend over in the chat, was just saying a few minutes ago, is the sad story, is the sad reality that you have to hit rock bottom? That might be the case.
I think so.
Right?
At least in therapy, I noticed that most of my clients don't change until they really do hit a very low spot.
Right. Isn't that reality? I mean, I think Milton Friedman once said that, is like, nothing ever changes until there's a crisis.
Yes.
And then in the crisis is the opportunity, typically, that the socialists take advantage of. But we libertarians have to learn from Javier Milei and what he's done. We have to learn from Donald Trump. We have to learn from success, and we have to get out of this loser mindset that we have had. And we have got to figure out a way to advance our principles. Libertad avanza. Right?
Well, and Aaron also was saying that Javier was totally against the left side. He's like, they're not going to vote for me. I'm just going to bash them. So maybe that's another tactic that we have to use, which I think most libertarians use anyway, is we bash
the left.
Everybody.
Yes. Call them shit leftists.
Okay.
Right? We have to mock them, humiliate them. Right. So this fight against this woke nonsense, for example, is part and parcel of this fight against the left. Mm-hmm. Right. The cultural battle in the United States, which Javier endorses. Many libertarians are like, we don't want to get involved in the cultural battles and things like that. No, we need to get involved in the cultural battle, because politics is downstream from culture, right? So rhetoric matters. What you're against matters. And it reminds me of that book that I keep talking about forever and ever, that I love, so much, the 33 Strategies of War. Mm-hmm. I remember when I first introduced the chapter, the first chapter of the book to you and my brother, Justin. I think it was at Christmas like last year, not this year. But I remember introducing you both to the first chapter, and Justin especially blanched at this, which is that declare war on your enemies.
Yeah.
Was the number one strategy. And it wasn't just about, declaring literal war. It was also a metaphor for declaring war on your enemies as a way to determine who you are. Mm-hmm. So many people go through this life and they don't have any sense of self or understanding of who they are, or what their self-worth is, or what do they even, many people don't even know what they stand for.
Right.
And so in this book, this concept of a strategy of war is, when you declare war on your enemies, what you're doing is you first define what you are against. Mm-hmm. Because when sometimes it's easier to know what you're not for than it is to know what you are for.
I always say that. Yes. Think about what you don't like, and then that'll help you figure out what you like.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so this was the first strategy of the Strategies of War. Highly recommend that book if you haven't read it. 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene. And it's the first one is declare war on your enemies, meaning that know who your enemies are, right? Sun Tzu, Art of War, know who you are and who your enemies are, and 1,000 battles you shall not lose.
The thing about libertarians is I feel like they have way too many enemies. I mean, they hate everybody, and
we're our own worst enemies.
The problem is we have war against the left and the right as libertarians.
Well, and here's the thing, like it or not, defining an enemy and having a well-defined enemy, it rallies people to your side, because just like with nationalism, for example, it goes to show we're all on the same side against the Japs and the Germans, right? So we're all going to stand together because we know we're against them, and we have a well-defined enemy. So it's easier to unite people against something than it is to unite them for something, like it or not, right? Like it or not.
In history, I mean, with Hitler, he was against something and made people be at war with the people he didn't like.
Yeah,
and it worked.
One of our commenters, Libtard, says, meme them until they cry, then make memes of them crying. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Very good. Good morning. Good morning. If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, the numbers have just been going up and up and up. Really? 500 people watching us live this morning. Yo, what's up? How you doing? Do me a favor, will you click like and subscribe to the channel, especially if you've been enjoying this conversation. We'd love to have you come back and join us here on the show Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. The Wake Up America show streams live. I'm Austin Peterson. This is my smoking hot redheaded libertarian wife, Stephanie. Hey,
hi.
Can follow her
basically
on
trying to figure out how to save the world from this interview. I'm like, how can we make this work in America?
Doesn't Javier like give you like so much hope? Right? Like I feel like so energized by Javier and what he's accomplishing.
I do. The tough thing is I just feel like he's in another world. Yeah. It's almost like he's an alien and we'll never be able to experience this.
Well, so Aaron Sepulveda invited us to the Bitcoin conference in Argentina a year from now.
Yeah.
So that might be our opportunity, right? To go to Argentina, to bring some friends with us, maybe a team of friends who want to go to the conference, and also maybe that's the chance to invest in Argentina. It sounds like Aaron knows somebody who can.
Oh, Aaron's on us. He said he's part of the Bitcoin like board or organization or something.
So he invited me to speak at their Bitcoin conference in Buenos Aires in December.
Right.
So if everything goes well and we manage to get that done, that deal done, then we'll go to Argentina a year from now.
Yeah.
But from now until next year, we need to build up our connections down there. We need to last night we watched the video about the geography of Argentina.
Learn Spanish. We need to
learn some Spanish.
We need to get a sponsor for a language program.
Well, here's the thing: we did great when we went to Japan. We learned enough Japanese to be dangerous.
We do, and I did learn Spanish in 7th grade, so I think it's like I know enough of basics to kind of pick up on how to form sentences. So it shouldn't be super hard, especially knowing another Romance language, which is French. That's the language we both know, and it's very similar to Spanish.
It's a Romance language,
how they
we'll be able to understand some of it, un poquito, right? So we'll learn enough to be dangerous, and we'll go to Argentina a year from now. We'll bring dollars and investments, and we will hopefully we'll all prosper together.
Yeah.
Quest Fanning, speaking of prospering, drops a couple bucks in the tip jar. Hey, Quest, thank you.
Thank you.
He says, having moved right myself, I've spent much energy arguing and persuading leftists. However, the left now seems fully ossified. He says, yes, I agree. Ossified is like hardened like bone, right? They are immovable. I completely agree. I think that the left is largely is largely immune to reason.
That's why we can't depend on them.
Right.
So in this next election, whoever's running for president, Vivek, he has to go against the left and say, you know what? We don't need to compromise with you.
Yeah, I think that exactly. I think that the best case scenario for us at this point is that when Donald Trump wins the nomination of the Republican Party, that he picks Vivek Ramaswamy to be his vice presidential pick, because of all the Republicans that are out there right now on the national level, Vivek is the closest to you and me.
Yes. And I think, too, Aaron was saying that the other thing about Javier is he explained how he would get things done. And Vivek does that.
Yes.
He explains his plan of how he would make all of these changes. So I think Vivek is pretty close to Javier. Maybe he just needs like a little bit more riz or something.
No,
a little bit more rebel.
I like Vivek. I mean, a lot of people are kind of, turned off by Vivek because he's kind of young and impetuous and stuff. But that reminds me of me when I ran for president and stuff. And it's exciting to see a young person running for president like that, because it just, it brings back so much nostalgia for my campaign in one part. And then on the other hand, he says a lot of things I agree with. Some things I don't. But I really think that he is one of the best spokesman for liberty in the United States. And I even tweeted this the other day, and Javier retweeted that. I said the top 3 spokesmen for liberty on the world stage right now is Javier Milei, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Elon Musk. I see them as probably the biggest advocates for liberty in the world right now that have the eyes of the world on us. So Barney Stiles says AP is going to start running Spanish language commercials. Yes.
I really do hope that Elon Musk has his eyes on Javier Milei. I don't know if they have a relationship, but I really hope maybe Elon can invest in some businesses down there, some electric vehicle plants or something. I don't know. Can you launch rockets from Argentina? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Maybe the northern tip of it, right? Right. One listener texted in and said, try Duolingo for Spanish.
Yes, I've actually heard about that one. Or there's like a Rose something. Rose something. It's another language company.
I'm not sure, but
Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone. Yeah,
that's what it is.
We'll learn enough Spanish to be dangerous before we go, so we'll be able to do business and do whatever we need to do when we go to Argentina a year from now. Hey, how exciting would that be? Vámonos, muchachos. Mi amigo. All right. Well, this has been a great show so far. We've got 20 minutes left to go, and still lots more to discuss. There's like 10 topics that we didn't get to this morning. So
I know.
I tell you what,
we've been so distracted.
Here's the thing: since we're not going to be here on Monday, we'll give you guys an opportunity to get the show to be a little bit longer. Let's do this, Stephanie. Like we do this every once in a while, where we'll offer to extend the show for a price. If we can raise $50 in the next 20 minutes from Rumble Rants, then and I tell you what, we'll also extend that to the shop, apforlibertyshop.com. If we can raise another $50 in sales and in rants combined, then we will do another 30 minutes of the show. How does that sound? Does that sound fair?
Sounds pretty good to me.
Because we have like so many other topics.
We do.
We've got like 10 other topics that we want to discuss.
We were going to talk about short haircuts and women
who cut their hair short as a way to stop competition.
We were going to talk about a movie that is anti-woke.
We were going to talk about we've got this movie that's theoretically anti-woke that we were going to play the clip of.
The highlights of the year,
the best moments of 2023. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. And we've also, we've got so much stuff. So anyways, if we can raise another $50 in rants or in sales, then we will do another 30 minutes for the Wake Up America show, because it's the last show before 2024. So okay, Stephanie, while we're doing this right now, do you want to briefly introduce our coffee and explain to people about our delicious coffee flavors that we have?
Sure. Founding Flavors. Have you heard of it? Have you tasted it? They are the flavors of the Founding Fathers. We have some examples right here. These are the actual packages that will come to your house. And we have Adam's Patriotic Perk. So we have dark roast, light roast, medium roast. We also have a single origin blend. And I think our Martha's Mint, which was our holiday edition, it's probably gone.
No, it's actually today's the last day.
Oh, so people can still buy it.
You can still buy it today. Yes, Martha's Mint.
My goodness, you gotta hop on that, people, because it's really good. It smells so yummy, at least. And you can also get decaf if you really don't like caffeine, like moi. Where
do people get it?
So you go to apforlibertyshop.com. And again, if you buy something right now, it goes towards the $50 donation box to keep us going.
Joni Rankin just donated $10. So
Thank you, Joni.
Thank you, Joni.
We have Washington's Revolutionary Roast, based on George Washington. We have Thomas's Painkiller. That's the one you gave to your brother for Christmas. Yeah, we actually gave all of Austin's family coffee for Christmas, and they loved it. They're so excited. And these boxes are super artistic. Austin and I designed them ourselves. And so you can literally just keep them as an art piece on your shelf.
Yeah.
Even after the coffee is gone. So go to apforlibertyshop.com, buy Founding Flavors coffee today. There's even some reusable Keurig cups that you can buy. It's so funny. People come to our website and they only buy the Keurig cups.
Yeah.
And nothing else. So we're like, wow, that's cool. So we are your source for renewable Keurig cups.
Oh, and we have a couple of really like amazing discounts going on at the shop.
There are so many to keep track of. What in the world is on sale right now?
So we have 3 major discounts. We have a 50% off discount on our George Washington smoking coins.
50% off?
Right. So that's on the top of the website. So when you see like the slides going at the top of the website, it'll say you just click on the button of the George Washington coin, and it'll give you the 50% discount.
Automatically.
Right. Our metal signs.
Okay. Metal signs.
They're 15% off.
Oh, boy. Yes.
Use
so our metal signs, they're customizable. Most of them. You can put your own words on there and make your own design. Whatever you want to say. Javier Milei 2024. Viva la libertad, carajo.
Yes.
You can make anything. And you can make them in different colors, different sizes. So it's really fun.
There you go. Pork Chop 159 just dropped $10 in the kitty, so we're $20 there.
20. Do we also include like what Quest did earlier?
No, we're only going to include things since we started the contest.
Look at me trying to cut corners.
Don't you do that. We've got 15 more minutes left to raise $30. And if we get sales at the shop, then those count, obviously.
Yes.
And we've got a lot more to discuss, obviously, the best moments of 2023.
We also have the Javier Milei shirt on sale, don't we?
The Javier Milei shirt is on sale. Yes, Stephanie, thank you for remembering.
Viva la libertad, carajo.
Viva la libertad, carajo.
And last night you made a new mug and a new tumbler.
A new Javier Milei.
For Javier Milei.
We're going to start pumping out Javier Milei merchandise because we want to spread the word of what Javier Milei is doing in Argentina. So here's the shirt that you can get over there. It's 25% off, but you have to use the code Javier Milei.
Javier.
There you go. So Javier Milei is the code, and you'll get 25% off our Viva la Libertad Carajo shirt. There you go. Well, it looks like we're going for another 30 minutes, Stephanie.
No, why?
Because Rare Camellia just donated $30 over in the live stream.
Thank
you, Camellia.
Thank you. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. We appreciate that. Thank you, Camellia. And she's already a monthly donor, too.
I know. She gives to us too much.
She does. Love you guys. Happy New Year, and bless Javier Milei for giving us hope for liberty. Let's go to Argentina. Yeah. Isn't that nice?
That'd be awesome. Yes.
Levin214 donated $40, says, don't cut your hair short, ladies.
I've done that 2 times in my life.
Yes. Well, let's just talk about it briefly because we are going to go on. But there was this study that showed that women who see other women as attractive as they are, they apparently will recommend to that woman, if they have the chance, to cut their hair short. What did you think about that, Steffi?
I was trying to think if I've ever suggested anything to women before.
Like that? Like, oh yeah, you should totally cut your hair short.
I think it's more so when women ask you, like, how do you like my outfit? You know? But the thing is, when women ask the opinion of anyone, they have to expect that that person is going to white lie to them, especially men. Because women get way too upset if you give them your real opinion.
Yes.
So it's like, imagine a woman who's already wanting a short haircut and she's like, do you think I should cut my hair short? And you're like, no, you should keep it long so you're sexy and wanted by men. Then she'd get offended, right? So it's like you almost have to go along with her and be like, oh, sure, cut it short. I could see where that would work great on you.
That pixie cut. It's so in right now. So hot. You look like Princess Diana.
Because they already want to do that. They just want your validation to do that.
Exactly.
I mean, I have cut my hair short 2 times in my life. The very first time was a traumatic incident when I was in 2nd grade. They used to have like model heads in the beauty salon. And so it was an adult model head. I was a child, mind you. And the hair was like probably just below like the ears. It was like chin level. I thought it was a super cute bob. I asked to have it. It was way shorter. It was like at my ear level. And I looked like an Amish boy. And I really regretted that haircut. It was embarrassing.
Yep.
But then I got my haircut the second time when I think I was like my early 20s-ish. But it was super cute because I wore hair paste. So I like made it all edgy with like all the layers and stuff. It was kind of like emo style. So that was fun.
We got to say thanks to Kermode Bear. He dropped $10 in the tip jar.
Goodness.
Thank you.
Oh.
And one of our listeners just bought a box of Thomas's Painkiller Coffee.
No way.
Isn't
you
that
guys,
lovely?
seriously. We have it right here.
Yeah, the Painkiller Coffee.
Painkiller.
That's my favorite. That's the Colombian single origin.
We have to give away coffee today.
We are going to give away coffee today to our monthly subscribers.
Yep.
So one of our monthly subscribers is going to receive a free box of Founding Flavors coffee. And I know exactly who it is because I already picked the winner, right? And the winner is, I forgot to put my drum roll in there, is Floby Tenderson.
Yeah. We love you, Floby.
Floby. Yo, Floby, you are the winner of a free box of Founding Flavors coffee. All I need you to do is to hit me up over on the text messaging app, 573-319-1586. Let me know, Floby, which box of coffee you want and where I should send it. So hit me up over the text line, and thanks for being a monthly supporter of the Wake Up America Show. You can be a monthly supporter too at wakeupAmericaShow.com/support, or if you're a monthly supporter on rumble.com, that counts as well. Floby actually donated like 2 years worth of monthly donations in Bitcoin.
Gosh.
Can you believe that?
Oh,
Wild.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Talking about other currencies.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Floby. We appreciate that very much. Do us a favor, Floby. Hit us up over on the text line and let us know where you want us, which box of coffee you want, and where we should send it. And we will send you your free box of coffee. So that's one of the perks that we have of being a monthly subscriber to the show. We give away free gifts from the AP for Liberty shop. We have raffles and
you
signs.
get a 20% off always. It never runs out. 20% off coupon code. That's super secret.
Yep. And we actually just sold another item in the shop there.
No.
So yes, we did.
What was
it? This is the very first time we've ever sold one. A Make Taxation Theft Again Bluetooth speaker.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that cool?
You people. That is awesome.
Yeah. So we've had those in the shop for quite a while. So it's one of those Bluetooth speakers like the ones that I like. And you can get those over at the shop. So if, for example, like Pork Chop, he's a monthly subscriber, he's a donor, he got it for 20% off. So you can get all kinds of great discounts at the shop if you're a monthly subscriber. So if you're a monthly subscriber already and you're not using your discount code, hit us up, let us know. Like, we don't have the discount code, just get in touch with us and we'll make sure you get your discount code. Okay, because people have been so generous this morning, we are going for an extra 30 minutes into overtime today on the Wake Up America show. Right. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we were talking about hair.
Okay, continue, Steph.
So the only woman that I know that has really rocked a short haircut is Princess Diana.
Yes, Princess Diana did look good with short. She would have looked good no matter what she did. She probably could have been bald and been beautiful.
You have to have a certain type of face for it.
Very angular features.
Angular. Okay.
Very angular features, right?
Yes.
So like, most people can't, just like most men, like probably can't rock being bald, for example. Not every, because you have to have a certain shaped head as a man.
Right. If it's like a cone head, that looks weird.
If you have a cone head, or like for me, like I think I have like a bit of a lumpy head underneath. So I'm blessed that I'm 42 and I still have hair, right? Not all of us are like Javier Milei, who has like amazing hair, right?
Yeah.
But I hope I still have that much hair when I'm his age. But for guys, like being bald is like having the girl pixie cut. Very few people can pull it off. But if you can do it, you probably were going to look good even if you did have hair, or if you had long hair, short hair, bald as a woman. Like there are a lot of women. Usually you see them in like Hollywood who like they will shave like the side of their head and they still look hot.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like they were hot anyway. Right.
Right.
So, you can do weird stuff, but most of us can't pull it off. Right. Most of us are going to have to, deal with, boy, my notifications are blowing up this morning. Yay. It was wild. This
is awesome. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of women and feeling competitive with each other, I definitely can see that.
Yeah. Tell me about this. How do you feel about it?
I mean, especially when you're in like the dating scene and there's like one man that everyone's interested in. I could see where, you'd really try to rise up. You put that little extra lipstick on for that guy.
Joni Rankin
and you hope that the other girl does not look as good as you.
Exactly. Joni Rankin says, don't fall for the Bob look. It's named Bob for a reason.
Bob's and Vagine.
Bob's and Vagine. Send Bob's and Vagine. We appreciate that. Floby, thanks so much for supporting the show. We see that you were here. I'm glad that you got to see that. Do me a favor, Floby, and let us know which box of coffee you want and where you want us to send it. We'll get you your coffee as a gift, as a thank you for supporting the Wake Up America show. Monthly subscribers are huge for us because they provide long-term sustainability. Joni says, this show gives me hope for the future of our country, so investing in AP for Liberty is easy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Joni. We are very grateful for you. It's a small army of people, but it's continuing to grow. If you want to help support the Wake Up America show so we can continue to bring you great interviews like what you heard earlier with Aaron, I mean, where else are you hearing interviews and discussions like those? Nowhere else are you hearing these kinds of conversations in the morning. So please do consider becoming a monthly subscriber, or at a minimum, like and subscribe to the channel for free, of course, and we'd be glad to have your support that way. What else do we have on the show? Let's play this clip. This is this movie that came out, and people were kind of saying
anti-woke movie.
So this is what people are saying. So people are saying that Peter Boghossian tweeted this and says that MGM, Metro-Goldwyn Mayer, releases a film that suggests Hollywood is distancing itself from wokeness He says he has a $1,000 bet with Chris Rufo that the Democratic Party will cynically reject wokeness in the next 6 months. He says, you can pay me now, Chris. Okay, so let's watch this. Yeah, let's watch this video of this movie that's coming out, and we'll give our reaction. We'll hear from the audience as well.
Any news?
Editors, they want a black book.
They have one. I'm black, and it's my book. Look at what they expect us to write.
Would you read an excerpt?
Yo, Sharonda, where you be going in a hurry like that? If and you gots to know, I was going to the pharmacy.
Oh, when you're living on faith, something's got to give.
If they want stereotypes, I'll give them one.
Nobody's gonna publish this.
Just want to rub their noses in it.
We love it.
What?
It is very,
Black?
Yes, that's it. I'm happy you said it and not me.
Gotta give a little more.
I wrote it.
It's a joke.
People want to love you, Monk. You should let them love all of you.
The going gets tough, gotta give a little more.
We sold the movie rights.
Yes!
We think it is going to be a bestseller.
I'm sure white people on the Hamptons will delight in it.
Yeah, we will. It's going to be huge.
Any news?
Editors.
Okay, so American Fiction. So this is a movie about a black man who writes a story where he kind of like, the black people call this cooning.
Oh, what does that mean?
Well, because like coon is a slur, like the N-word.
Oh.
If you call a black person a coon, but they use it.
Know that.
They use it amongst themselves now as when you're acting foolish, as when you're acting like a stereotypical black.
Clowning.
Clowning, right? But they specifically call this cooning.
Okay.
As a way, is it like you're fitting into stereotypes of what either white people or non-black people think.
Sure.
Right. So in this movie, this actor writes these books where his characters are cooning, right? Acting like, talking like, yes, sir, I gotta go to the pharmacy.
Right.
And people are seeing this as anti-woke because it's making fun of white leftists who are like applauding blacks for acting like they're cooning, right? And so this movie, I think people have identified, I would say, as anti-woke. But I think I disagree. But I'd like to hear your take on it first before I give mine. Go ahead.
I mean, the only thing I can compare to woke that's anti-woke is movies from the 80s and 90s, which we've been watching a lot more of. There was a movie recently, actually, that showed a boy like dressing up in girls' clothes. And it was like no big deal in this movie. Gosh, you're going to have to remind me what movie it was. But anyway, so it's like this movie, at least this trailer, it still seems kind of fake. I mean, it doesn't seem genuine. It seems all very like forced in terms of them trying to portray black people in a stereotypical way. It just doesn't seem genuine.
Yes.
The movies from the 80s and 90s are just genuine, funny, just making jokes about everybody. Laughing at someone who's cross-dressing in the mirror, who's your little brother.
So here's what I want to do. I want to play this trailer one more time. It's only a minute long. And I want you to think about it like this. This movie to me is not, I don't think, necessarily anti-woke because in many ways it maintains what I would call anti-whiteness. Can look at how stupid all of the white people are in this movie, in this movie trailer. Watch this again and think about how it's depicting white people in general. Now, they're white leftists, yes, but it's still anti-white. Watch.
Any news?
Editors, they want a black book.
They have one. I'm black, and it's my book. Look at what they expect us to write.
Would you read an excerpt?
Yo, Sharonda, where you be going in a hurry like that? If and you gots to know, I was going to the pharmacy.
Oh, when you're living on faith, something's got to give.
If they want stereotypes, I'll give them one.
And they are giving us stereotypes about white people, aren't they? To an extent.
Nobody's going to publish this.
Just want to rub their noses in it.
We love it.
What?
It is very,
Black?
Yes, that's it.
Look at this. A white liberal woman and an effeminate gay white man, right? You can never portray white people as strong masculine figures.
Right. And there's still like incredibly diverse white people that they're choosing to be in this movie.
Exactly.
It's not like a guy's guy and a super feminine woman.
Yeah. So I know I'm a little skeptical about, anything that is allegedly anti-woke that's going to come out of Hollywood anytime soon, because it still, to me, has a message that I think is still advancing the left's narrative, which is anti-white in my view.
Yeah. I think we were actually talking about this with your brother. I really do think celebrities are going their own way more so now, such as Russell Brand.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're seeing celebrities not following that leftist viewpoint so much anymore.
Russell Brand went off the reservation a long time ago, right? Right. He went off. He's been against. Well, because when you speak out for free speech, like Russell Brand, you're going to get hate. You're going against the deep state. You're going against the establishment. I mean, that is populist. Can everybody who's watching the show this morning, real quick break, can I ask you a favor, guys? We've only got 54 likes on the stream, and we've got like 600 people watching, 650.
Well, that was quite unbalanced.
Could we get 100? Yeah, could we get 100 likes over on the stream? We'd appreciate that, guys. Thanks. While you're there, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel as well, because I know for many of you today is the first time watching the Wake Up America show. So make sure that you come back and join us by clicking that subscribe button too. But 54 likes and 660 people watching.
Just assuming they're watching, but they don't actually like what they're watching. No, is that what you really mean, everybody?
They like the show, Stephanie. I think they like the show.
So you need to show us that, because we don't know.
Do you love America?
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to
Excuse me. If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, I'm Austin Peterson, the host of the show. Glad to have you here. This smoking hot redheaded libertarian to my left is my wife, Stephanie.
My wife. Hello.
It's nice to see so many new names and faces on the show today. Mighty Megatron here with us. He says, is saying hi. Polish Dog 989. What's up, Polish? Nice to see you. Yeah, glad to have you here.
My great-grandfather was Polish. Hello.
Yep. Citizen James. First time seeing you here today. Welcome, Citizen James. Glad to have you, all the new faces and friends here today. Yeah, we appreciate that very much. 704 people watching us live. We are going to go for another extra 30 minutes. Thanks to all of our viewers and listeners today. We've been talking this morning about the accomplishments of Javier Milei. So if you missed that conversation, you definitely want to go back and watch after the show the conversation we had with the economist Aaron Sepulveda about what Javier Milei has done. And wow, he's so inspiring to me, what Javier Milei is doing right now, and I want so badly to bring this to the United States, and hopefully we can.
I know. I don't know if we're in the right place to do it. I mean, it's the perfect storm. You have to have the right conditions.
Well, can we say, because now it's time for us to talk a little bit this morning. Good morning, Agora Greg. Now it's time for us to talk this morning about the best of 2023. So maybe this is the perfect time to transition and say definitely the election of Javier Milei was one of the best things of 2023.
Oh, absolutely. Finished off the year right. I mean, I wasn't really following his campaign except the very first time when they had two elections, and the first time he didn't win, right? And then there was the second one. So I was kind of following it a little bit before then, but I didn't really know much about Argentina before this year, honestly. I never had studied that country, never knew anybody there.
Yeah, no, I didn't know much about Argentina other than like the World War II related history, honestly, not so good, but and a little bit about Buenos Aires, but I always kind of saw it as a country that was sort of, not third world necessarily, but just like not the economic superpower that they used to be in the early 1900s, because as we learned last night, Argentina was at one point, they had a larger economy than the United States.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's a massive country. And so somebody who messaged me last night, this very sweet lady, she was messaging me saying she just wants to have a normal country again, right? A functioning economy. I mean, can you imagine
what
it
is
must
normal?
be like? Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different versions of normal. I just don't even know how to define that anymore. And the thing about the healthcare system in Argentina, I mean, that was the most shocking to me. You can just go to a doctor's living room and get medical care, and it's so unregulated. I mean, is that what we should be aiming for here in America? And the fact that Aaron actually goes across the border to Mexico for his medical care. I mean, that's the first I've ever heard of something like that.
Well, I've heard of people going to Mexico to get dentistry and things like that
Plastic
done.
surgery.
Plastic surgery, because it's so much less expensive, right? But anyway, so we're talking about what was the best of 2023.
Yes. So Javier
Milei, and I think honestly, he's probably going to win the best of 2024 as well. So let's give it up for Javier Milei. Definitely one of the best things, if not the best thing, for 2023. Another big win for 2023 has been, I would say, rumble.com. Big time.
I mean, I don't even think, were we even on Rumble like a year ago?
We were. So it was actually Neil, my buddy Neil, who convinced me. He's like, you need to get on Rumble. And I was like, okay, like another platform to try and build up and stuff like that. But when YouTube demonetized us, in like June or July or something of last year, Rumble reached out and said, we'd love to feature your show and support you, and you guys can be here and do your show and monetize you. And here we are right now, the front page of rumble.com.
They take the YouTube refugees.
They do.
Because I know a few others who have found safety there.
Here's the thing, are we I won't say that necessarily I'm wholesome. I mean, you are.
Yeah.
But the Wake Up America show, it's not that out of stuff. We're not that crazy. You know what I mean?
I mean, we're not talking about conspiracy theories all day. I think a lot of these conspiracy theory channels, I mean, they get hit.
They get hit
above and beyond.
Well, the conspiracy channels, they will fact check the shit out of them, but they do it to us too. They do it to me too, even though I don't I only typically post things that I can independently verify, and I very rarely will base a story around a rumor or something like that. But even still, I mean, conspiracy theorists, they should have free speech. I always thought it was wrong. Alex Jones getting back on Twitter, maybe one of the best of 2023.
That's a highlight.
That's a highlight.
Absolutely. I mean,
free speech.
I used to fangirl for him back in the 2010, 2011.
You get excited when you hear his voice.
Oh, yesterday, I wanted to meet him at Pokey Joe's and share some spring water with him and warn the waitresses about the fluoride in the tap water. Oh, yeah.
Yesterday, I had an Alex Jones clip come up in my reels as I was just working at home. And Stephanie was like, oh, is that how you watching Alex Jones this morning? She's a big Alex Jones fan there.
Yes. He's so entertaining. So yes, having him back is very nice.
That was a big win for free speech in 2023. So we're talking about the big highlights, best moments of 2023. A couple of my personal victories, I would say. Some very viral videos that I made early in the year. The Guns of the Presidents.
Oh my gosh.
Mario, my nephew, was like, I love those videos, man.
Yes, the history videos, the reels. YouTube really... They liked our reels. The people on YouTube really watched them.
They demonetized some of my Guns of the Presidents. They demonetized my John F. Kennedy one, for example, because I was talking about the gun that was used to kill him with, and so they did kind of clamp down. But Instagram, for some reason, not so much. They were a little bit more welcoming to the Guns of the Presidents reels.
And you were on TikTok for a very short while.
Oh, I got banned from TikTok in 2023.
Yeah, we were trying to share your gun reels on there for a little bit.
No, they banned. Actually, the reason why I got banned from TikTok is because I posted a meme of two cats standing in front of the IRS building, and one of the cats was making a joke about they was holding a can of gasoline and was making a joke about burning down the IRS.
That sounds like insurrection.
I guess I'll never be able to run for office. So I won't be able to be on the ballot because of insurrection. So, anyway, I got banned from TikTok for a burn down the IRS meme, which, you know what? I'm proud of that. Here you go. How's that?
Yeah. So, yes, you made those videos.
But the videos, what did I use to make the videos? AI. So 2023, one of the highlights of 2023, artificial intelligence, right? Big one.
You know, it's so funny because it's now we know things, but I don't remember when I didn't know them. So I don't remember before AI existed. You know, it's I can't even tell what month it was that we discovered AI this year. But I know we use it every single day now.
I think it was February.
Okay, February.
Yeah, we use AI every single day. I use at least 2 to 3 AI platforms right before the show every morning. So for example, the thumbnails, the awesome video thumbnails, the animated thumbnails on Rumble, and on Twitter that you see, those I make with artificial intelligence. So I use Midjourney to create the images. I use ChatGPT to like help with the titles. And I use Adobe's image generator as well if I need to like fill in something, for example. One of the neat things is like, for example, that AI can do is that if you actually, I think I can actually pull it up. So on the Javier Milei shirt over at apforlibertyshop.com, I'll pull a picture up of it right now. For libertyshop.com, you get 15% off.
We used Adobe to put that together.
We used Adobe to put this together, Midjourney to make the lion. But here's something interesting about the lion. You won't be able to see it on your screen right now, but if you want to go to the shop and look at it, you get 25%, by the way, off of this shirt today if you use code Javier Milei, all one word. But so this lion, I generated him using AI, but his eyes were empty. The eyes were blank.
Yeah, I remember that.
So what I did was I used Adobe to clear out. I basically just like carved his eyes out, carved the holes out to make a blank space, and then I put in what's called a generative fill.
Yes.
So and I told it, fill this with the eye of a lion, and it in the hole where the lion's eye was, it made a lion's eye.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Beautiful. Yes, beautiful. Okay. So what are the possibilities that you can do? Like Justin for example, was here yesterday. We made that video together of him. And what did I do for Justin? I created all these beautiful AI images of him in like MGM movies from the 1930s.
Right.
And I was like, okay, Justin, I'm going to make you wearing a bow tie now. So I generative filled around his neck a bow tie, and it drew a bow tie around him. These are skills that you and we couldn't do, right?
No,
we wouldn't have these skills.
Gosh,
right?
If only your U.S. Senate campaign was right now, I would have the best graphic design game ever.
I know, right?
Because I was your graphic designer,
Imagine
and
what
I had to use Photoshop.
If these tools existed when I ran for office, you would have turned this our campaign into an AI powerhouse. Yeah.
I used what I had. At the time, Adobe was there, but it was very basic.
Yes. So the 2023 was definitely the year of AI for sure. So very cool. Don't forget that Javier Milei shirt that you see on the screen, 25% off until the end of the year. So use the code Javier Milei, all one word, 25% off that shirt. That's not that shirt. That shirt right there, over there. There you go. Sounds good. Okay, so what else? 2023. What else was a big year of? Our Cantina crew trip.
Yes.
So the Wake Up America show listeners and live stream chat group call themselves the Cantina Crew. And we have started an annual tradition of an in real life IRL gathering. And this year we had a great one, didn't we, Stephanie?
Yes, we went on a float trip. Oh my gosh, I already forgot the name of the place that we went to. My memory is horrible. But anyway, so we had a float trip in Missouri, and it was beautiful. Quest Fanning came, the Unruhs came, the Sunbergs came. We had Robbie Theraman, Camellia. So it's like a lot of the people you see in the chat, they were there with us. And it was just wonderful. You know, it's like you just get to have those intimate conversations and really just talk to each other as people.
We got to meet Joni Rankin.
Rankin was there with us.
Unruh and his wife Robin, and Quest's whole family was there.
Yes,
Fanny.
he brought his daughter, his wife.
Oh yeah, it was wonderful. And so many of these people I've been wanting to meet for so long. So next year we'll definitely do something as well.
Bass River Resort.
Bass River Resort. That's where it is. Yep. So 2023 was the year of meeting the Cantina Crew. That was a big highlight of the year. Give it up for the Cantina Crew.
Because like every year, pretty much, we have new people that are in our crew. I mean, during your presidential campaign, you had certain people that were in the Freedom Ninja Army group that were rooting for you. During your U.S. Senate campaign, we had #Team Liberty. That was the group. And then now during your show, we have the Cantina Crew, and it's ever evolving. I mean, now we're adding Argentinian people to our Cantina Crew. So it's like we're going international very much.
Yeah, we've had a wonderful year, and certainly meeting the Cantina Crew and getting to be closer to them was one of the big highlights of 2023. We've got 850 people watching the Wake Up America show live right now. What's up, everybody? How are we doing? Thanks so much for tuning in. We've been talking this morning about Javier Milei's accomplishments. If you missed that amazing discussion that we had with Aaron Sepulveda, then definitely make sure you go back and watch that after the show. Right now, we're talking about some of the best highlights of 2023, and of course, the biggest and best of things that have been personally, affecting for us. We wrote a children's book, our very first children's book.
I know, that was. I actually, to think about all of our highlights, I went through my Instagram feed. And I was like, whoa, here I am posing with our Calvin the Coolest President book. That happened this year. Hard to believe. It's like I said to Austin, I'm like, we really are serial entrepreneurs. This is what that means. I mean, we are constantly doing a different project, like nearly weekly, if not daily.
So, I've kind of burned my boats when it comes to the Wake Up America show. Like, it would be difficult for me to get a regular job at this point. Not that I would want one, but the reality is that like I am fight or die now. I'm going to make the Wake Up America show and our live stream and podcasting business successful. apforlibertyshop.com. I'm going to grow in 2024. We're doing everything that we can to try and grow our marketing skills. We've added text messaging. We've added, we're doing emails. I wasn't doing emails the year before. Now we're writing emails 3 times a week.
Right.
We're doing all these like text different alerts and things like that to try and grow our business.
Lots of automated AI behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. So if people have maybe if you interact with me on Instagram, for example, you might have gotten an automation that's requested your email, a little bots that we've created in order to be successful. Because at this time for me, like I've said back to the wall that I'm going to make this a successful libertarian media company, and I'm going to grow the message of liberty, and we're going to make documentaries. 2024 will be our first documentary, which is another big highlight.
That was another big highlight. Going to Athens, Tennessee. I had never been there before.
Yep. So the Battle of Athens is a story of a real American insurrection, a real rebellion that happened.
Now, those people should not be able to run for office. Yeah, or should they?
No, they should. For sure. World War II veterans who fought to take back their ballots, which were being stolen by a corrupt local government. And we've got great interviews from that, which I'm going to turn into a great documentary, my very first documentary that's going to be coming out in 2024. So lots to look forward to.
That was such a cool experience. I mean, the people that we met, I didn't know that I would emotionally attach to the people that we interviewed, especially one man. His name was Randy, I believe. Yeah. And we went to eat with him. And
he followed us around a little bit.
And just touching the lives of the people in a small town in Tennessee. Yep. It was really moving. And just to see how much our presence there and the attention that we're giving to the Battle of Athens, how much that means to them.
Because many of them, it was their fathers that were involved in the battle, right? So I'm looking forward to getting that documentary out this year. I mean, be my very first one, so be gentle. And we'll make that as exciting as we can for you, because the Wake Up America show is just one part of our Liberty Media Company. We also have plans to add a new show coming soon, which can't give the details just yet. But I'd like to add 2 new shows, but I'm still trying to convince the other talent to come on board.
Talent is not very easy to convince of
it's
things.
Hard to find somebody who can host a show like this. So, but a new show is coming in 2024. So keep an eye out for that. Lots to be excited for.
Yeah.
And I think you will be really delighted when you see who the host of the new talk show is going to be.
I think so.
It's not going to be a live news video show like this. It's going to be an audio podcast, just because like for most people who are just starting in the business, like it's really hard to do what I'm doing right now. So like I've got a million buttons I'm surrounded by, and this is all happening live. It's one that even if I just wasn't doing this live, it would be so much easier. But trying to get guests on a show and have all the audio and everything coordinated and have this all happen live, like you're watching right now, the 830 people watching live, this is a massive challenge. So, so for anybody, I know you see people with like webcams who are like, oh, they stream live. How hard can it be? Well, the way we do it is hard. It's really hard, especially because I don't have a producer. It's all me, and Stephanie helps with things here and there.
Before I was a little mini YouTuber for about a year, and it's like I did it the easy way. I got to record myself in my room and be all cozy, and I got to cut the video whenever I messed up, and I got to clip things here and there and add and delete.
Like if
I could make it all pretty and put filters.
If we mess up and we're picking our nose or doing something stupid like that, that. It's live. It's happened. Everybody saw it. It's too late, right? So, and there's just, it's really difficult to do it, obviously, when you don't have a producer. So our hope is that by the end of 2024, we'll be able to be so flush with cash that we'll be able to invest in hiring staff and bringing on more talent for shows and growing this business. And, you guys are a big part of that. But another big part of it that's going to be part of our growth strategy, another big thing for 2023 for us, the best of, was Founding Flavors Coffee, our coffee business. It was
we
John
apparently
Burke.
made coffee as well.
Yeah. Well, it was John Burke was really instrumental in that, because I had been thinking about it for a long time.
Yeah.
But he was really the one with his own CBD business who convinced me that something like a coffee business was the right move to go.
He said one word to us: consumable.
Yeah, consumable.
That changed everything.
Get something that people can buy, that they can subscribe to, that they'll want to come back. We are so lucky that we found this supplier. The company that we work with who supplies our coffee is amazing. Not only is their technology incredible, but the coffee is just ultra premium. It's delicious. Check out the reviews. We have over at apforlibertyshop.com, and this is not just a commercial, but like the reviews from the people, these are verified by a third party, independent reviews, 5-star reviews of our coffee, because it is just that good. People who try it love it, don't they, Steph?
Yeah. And you give it to mostly coffee connoisseurs, people that drink a lot of very fine coffee. Like I'm not, so I have no idea. I just don't like Starbucks because it's way too dark for me.
Well, I don't like Starbucks either, right? But like, for example, I've got the website pulled up. You can see Revolutionary Roast, 5 stars. Liberty Lullaby, 5 stars. Jeffersonian Java, 4.7. Franklin's Elixir, 4.9. Patriotic Perk, 5. Founding Flavors, Thomas's Painkiller, 5 stars. And today's the last day to get Founding Flavors coffee for Martha's Mint.
Martha's Mint, the holiday edition.
If you want mint, today's the last day to get it. So get your orders in today at apforlibertyshop.com. But like, that was a big deal because we worked so hard to make these beautiful boxes and package designs and to find the manufacturer and to market it and to get it out there. But if you're a subscriber to the monthly coffee club, if you do like a monthly delivery of the club, that is creating the sustaining growth, right? That is what's, I believe, the coffee and the metal signs at the shop, I think, are what are going to help us next year to afford health insurance, right? Just to keep on our feet, keep the shows going, add new shows, and grow our media presence, more libertarian content, more Javier Milei, right, of America, right? More so, and of course, I take this money and I invest it in liberty candidates around the country. Just like I supported Jamie Marie Pope, right? I'm supporting Kathy Loy. She's a liberty Republican here in Missouri. So the money that you spend here on the Wake Up America show, after we pay our health insurance bills, we use that, we reinvest that either back in libertarian documentaries, or we reinvest it back in libertarian shows, or we reinvest it back in libertarian candidates around the country. So if you're drinking coffee from us, just remember, even if we are a little bit more expensive, just remember that our coffee is ultra premium, so it's just as good. It's actually a little less expensive than many of the major brands when you factor in delivery, and your money stays within the liberty movement, right? Your money is being spent with people who don't hate you. So make sure you visit apforlibertyshop.com. And if there's any doubt about it and if you like the coffee, today's the day to sign up for a monthly subscription for coffee.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like how you said monthly coffee club. I like the ring of that.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should call it.
Sounds fun.
Maybe
it makes you feel like you're a part of something.
Maybe we need to name it the coffee club something with like a founding fathers theme to it or something like that. Like some kind of patriotic, so the letters of correspondence, the committees of correspondence were the founding fathers, what they wrote for the revolution.
Oh, the monthly coffee convention.
Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe the Constitutional Coffee Convention. That'd be a good idea, Stephanie. Great idea.
Just brainstorming on air. Look at that. fun. We love the brainstorming process. We are such creative souls.
Yeah, we love being creative and coming up with new ideas for how to advance liberty. So if you've been enjoying our content today, this morning, make sure you click subscribe to the channel here at rumble.com, because I know what happens is that you guys are busy and you got families and things are going on and you forget to click subscribe. And then next week when you want to come back and watch us, we're like, oh, we don't remember who that was. Well, I'm Austin Peterson. This is my wife, Stephanie. She joins us every Friday on the show for Freedom Family Friday.
That's right.
And then next week, my brother Justin.
I know. So that's a new addition now in the new year, is he'll be on every week.
Yeah.
So he may not have his own show, but he's going to be a weekly appearance.
Exactly. So my brother Justin Peterson will be joining us as a regular guest on Fridays. We have lots of awesome regular guests. Stephanie's on Fridays.
Yeah.
Camelia's Tuesdays and Thursdays. Daniela, she'll be back next Thursday.
Okay.
Daniela Pensack and
Judge Knapp,
Judge
Wednesday.
Napolitano on Wednesdays. John Miltimore on Mondays.
Yes.
So we have awesome regular guests. And then we have people like Aaron Sepulveda, economists, to talk about Javier Milei. And I keep getting closer and closer. I think, I'll bet you at some point, do you think in 2024, do you want to take bets that we're going to get Javier Milei on the show?
I think so. I think first, number one, I'm going to wait for him to follow you on Twitter.
Mhm.
That'll be the first goal. He'll follow you in 2024.
He's been retweeting us like crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then number two is talk to him privately.
Yes.
And then number three, hopefully have him on the show.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
We'll take some steps.
Our new friend over on the Rumble chat, first time I've seen him, Dad Bod Baboon. That's a great name. He says, do you guys advertise the coffee on Public Square?
Oh, Public Square. Yeah, we are on Public Square. All of our products are on Public Square. That's actually where we get a lot of our purchases.
Yeah, well,
lately.
actually, they've been big supporters too of the show. So without Public Square, we definitely wouldn't have made as many sales this year. So
we're looking to expand on Etsy as well.
Yeah, so that's another goal
avenue,
is to add our products to Etsy next year. So that'll be great. Okay, so 2023, we're talking about the things that made 2023 great. Japan was awesome for us personally. We got to go and visit Japan, see the Far East.
Yes, and it's so funny for your Christmas present for me. It was so touching because there's this little figure named Billykin, and he's basically like a gold Buddha. I don't know how else to describe him. He looks like a monkey, but also a Buddha. He's just super cute. So anyways, in Osaka, Japan, I saw Billykin and I fell in love with him. And I had bought a pair of socks, and I wished that I had gotten more photos with Billykin, because there's little statues all around. And so Austin, what he did, this actually made me cry when I accepted the gift, is our friend Oliver Gia in Japan. He bought me through Austin some Billykin socks and a coin purse and like a keychain. And oh my gosh, he had it shipped to us for Christmas this year. And it just, it just brought me back to Japan and made me realize just how connected I truly felt to that country.
Yeah, Stephanie fell in love with this little character. Then she had like one pair of socks. I knew she wanted more stuff. I looked everywhere. I could not, because in St. Louis, I'll tell the story real briefly. Billykin comes from St. Louis.
Yeah.
And Osaka in Japan adopted Billykin from St. Louis. He's this little statue on St. Louis University campus.
Changed him. He looks different.
Yeah, he looks different. They made him like a little golden god in Osaka. But every time I want to go buy Billykin stuff, it's like the St. Louis Billykin, which is different, not the same as the Osaka one.
Doesn't exist in America.
Or I could have bought like a $300 Billykin statue, and I was like, this isn't what she wants. And so I was like, okay. So I contacted Oliver Gia and reached out to him, and I was like, Oliver, can you please help me? Stephanie loves Billykin. So he like collected Billykin stuff from all over Japan and Osaka, had it mailed to him in Kyoto, Japan, where he lives, and then he mailed it to us from Japan and made it just in time for Christmas. Yeah. So Stephanie could get her Billykin stuff. So just a sweet little personal anecdote from me and Stephanie.
Yes. So, but Japan, it's like even just the friendships, we met with Oliver when we were there, and we even met a friend on the train that we still keep in touch with on Twitter till this day. And it's just those like little connections with these people that are so far away, and it just feels like you can't touch them, but they're there. So it's just this longing that I feel now that we're not in Japan anymore.
It's been an amazing year. 2023 has been absolutely incredible. Thank you to everyone who's been a big part of making it happen. People like Camellia Peterson, people like John Combis, people like Joni Rankin, people like Diug, people like Scott Fawn, Floby Tenderson.
Oh, that's another thing in 2023. We moved into this studio.
You did. That was another big one for 2023.
This studio is such a blessing.
Quest Fanning, Matt Unruh. Too many names to count off the top of my head. Andy Opperman. God, Andy was huge this year for us.
Oh, he's amazing.
Where would we be without Andy? God, Kermode Bear, Brindle Bear, all of the Bear family.
Mary Creamer,
yes, she's been huge helping us this year.
Maria
Edinbow, all of our live stream listeners who have been regulars. It's been unbelievable the amount of support that we've gotten from the community. Obviously, Lear Capital, our sponsors too. Thank you to Lear Capital. Make sure you check them out at learaustin.com. That's LEARAUSTIN.com. Don't forget, guys, tons of great sales over at apforlibertyshop.com. We got to run 25% off the Javier Milei shirt, 15% off the metal signs using code metal signs, 50% off of the George Washington coins. Check it out. And before you guys go, don't forget to click like and subscribe to the channel before you exit the stream. Stephanie, what do you want to say to everybody? Well, because we won't be back until next Tuesday.
Oh, be free.
Hey, thanks, you guys. We appreciate you very much. The Wake Up America show is all about economic freedom and personal liberty. We're going to be right here next year, better and badder and bigger than ever. More shows, more content, more great guests, bigger names, bigger topics, more freedom for everybody. Viva la libertad, carajo.
I was just thinking that.
And we'll see you guys on Tuesday here on the Wake Up America show at wakeupamericashow.com.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Boy, hot stuff.
We're off.
Not yet. Almost. Go.
Snow Goose Lodge in Jamestown, Kansas, your home away from home. Choose the comfort and privacy of our individual rooms, each equipped with its very own locking door and en-suite facilities. Or bring the whole family and make memories in our communal space. Snuggle up on our plush recliners or share a meal around the dining table that comfortably seats 8. Our kitchen is armed with everything you need, from a microwave to a full-size fridge. For a bird's eye view, book the Eagle's Nest. Enjoy the privacy, storage space, and its very own toilet and shower. For just $450 a night, reserve the entire lodge, perfect for reunions or retreats, accommodating up to 8 guests. And remember, Snow Goose Lodge is a haven for kids and dogs alike, so bring the whole family. Book your stay now and get 20% off your first booking using the code WAKEUP.
World of vocal discovery at Peterson Voice Studio. I'm Justin Peterson, here to guide your musical journey. Envision a place where your voice reaches new heights, where every note tells a story. We embrace all singers, from the enthusiastic shower vocalists to aspiring stars, ensuring each voice finds its unique rhythm and tone. Are you ready to elevate your voice? Visit PetersonVoiceStudio.com and sign